Happy Friday, fifth graders. I don't know about you, but I'm about ready for a weekend. Our lesson today is very, very short, which will give you time to go on and work on Khan Academy, and will also give you time to check any work that you needed to check throughout the week. If you need to check ERQs, if you need to go through and wrap up any of your practice problems, this will give you plenty of time to do it. So our assessment today is on Edulastic. I'm going to put it up on Edulastic. It is multiplying and dividing fractions. I'll try to keep it less than 10 questions. Remember, the completion of your daily assignments as well as your Khan Academy test and your Edulastic assessments are really how I am giving you a score for the work for quarter 4. So make sure that you are going online and completing those Edulastic assessments. So for Edulastic, it'll just say multiply and dividing fractions. That will be the name of it, and it is due 4/29. So we have plenty of time to do it. I don't think it'll take you 20 minutes. It should be a fairly quick assessment. So today, what we're going to focus on is your Chapter 10 review, and then of course I'll put your ERQs on there where you can check them, but that'll be on your own time. If you're, maybe had a little problem with one, you can go through and check it. Otherwise, we'll expect that those are done. All right, so your review for Chapter 10, Multiplying and Dividing Fractions, is page 783. We're not going to do all of it together. So I'll let you do your vocabulary check, and I'll post a key for this maybe on Monday, or I'll open it up this weekend where you'll have a little bit of chance to finish this, and then you can check it as well. All right, so we're going to go through, because it's been, 2 weeks now. So this was week 4 and week 5 of your COVID assignments, but we had our spring break in between. So there are only 2 main standards for this whole unit. I can multiply fractions by fractions, and whole numbers by fractions, and fractions by whole numbers. Same thing, just multiplying. And I can divide fractions by whole numbers, and fractions by fractions, and whole numbers by fractions. So basically, I can multiply and I can divide. And then the last part is I can solve real world problems by multiplying and dividing fractions. And this is on your checklist. So for today, we're going to go over your review. I'm going to post your ERQ key, and you'll need to go onto your Khan Academy to work and make sure that by next Friday you have completed your Edulastic assessment. All right, so here we go, 3/4 of 23. So if we have a whole number, what is the very first thing I do for a whole number if I'm involving operations and fractions? Throw it over 1. You can either reduce it beforehand using your butterfly effect, or you can reduce it afterwards. I can't think of anything that 23 has in common with 4. And in fact, it doesn't. 23 is prime. So we're going to multiply across numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. I'll give you a minute to solve. All right, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 3, 6, 9 over 4. What do we call this number if the numerator is bigger than the denominator? An improper fraction. We're going to make it a mixed number by turning it into a division problem. 4 goes into 6 one time. 4 goes into 29 7 times. How do I turn my remainder into a fraction? remainder over divisor. And you know what? I just realized that it said to estimate. So I am multiplying a whole number 23 by a number smaller than a whole. Is my answer going to be bigger than 23, equal than 23, or smaller than 23? Yep, smaller than 23. So you can either solve or you can just estimate. Write in simplest form. So we do have to reduce. Let's do our magic numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. All right, what's my first thing that I do if I have a number that's a whole number? Throw it over 1. Multiply across. Turn into a division problem. All right, here we go. Number 13. Multiply across. Can I reduce it? Divide by 2, divide by 3, divide by 5. Can't do it. Can I divide 3 into 40? No, we're golden. 3 1/4. I have a problem here because I have a mixed number. I need to turn that into what type of a number? An improper fraction. All right, I had 4/4, 4/4, and 4/4. So how many fourths do I have all together? 12/4 plus 1/4 is how many fourths? 13/4. All right, now we're good to go. I can't reduce anything. So multiply across. 13 times 3. 4 times 5. How do I turn this into a mixed number? Make it a division problem. How do I turn my remainder into a fraction? All right, find a quotient. 2 cut into a 6th. 2 cut into a 6th. All right, so remember we flip. And multiply. Oh. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12. 12 pieces. 12 times a 6th is 12/6, or 2. All right. We're going to do 19 and 21, and then look at our review reflection sheet we look at before all of our tests, and then I'll leave you to it. Ken is working on a project for social studies. He has a piece of poster board that needs to be divided equally. They told us exactly what we needed to do, into third foot sections. So I need groups of a third. My poster board is 4 feet wide. How many sections will Ken have on the board? 4 divided into 1/3 bits. All right, we're going to flip and multiply. How many sections will he have? Oh, I didn't flip. I was like, something's going on here. 12 over 1, which equals 12. Add your word. 21. At middle school, 1/30 of the students are on the track team. The track coach offered to buy pizza and subs for everyone on the team. Of the students that the coach bought food, they gave you a key word there, 3/5 ordered pizza. So I need 3/5 of 1/30. 3/5 of 1/30. All right, so what does of mean? Multiply. All right, multiply across. Am I good? I bet I can reduce. Because 3 can go into 15. $50. 1/50 ordered pizza. All right. So on your assessment for next week, we are only going to be working on computation. Your assessment for next week will only have computation. And we are going to continue to work on your word problems for next week. Because if you look at your ERQs and your practice for next week, and then the next week as well, your ERQs are going to focus on your multiplying and dividing fraction word problems, which is our final skill. So we need a little more practice with that, but we will keep spiraling back to that. We got to make sure we have our computation down first before we're really working to apply our skills. All right, so looking at our back, and we're down to just a couple of minutes. Use what you learned about fraction operations to complete the graphic organizer. What strategies can be used to multiply and divide fractions? So let's write an example. Well, first off, let's think our vocabulary. What are all the words we use for fractions? Write as many as you can think of. Multiply, divide, mixed numbers, improper, reduce, simplify, scaling. All right, we're going to write some examples. So we have 2 times 1/2. We have 1/2 times 1/2. We have 2 divided by 1/2. We have 1/2 divided by 1/2. And 1/2 divided by 2. All right, models. Models. I want you to select, and this is where we're going to pause, one of these 2 examples to draw a model, and one of these 2 examples to write a real-world example. All right, that's it for today. Please complete the rest of your review and work on your Khan Academy. Have a good one.